Hey, what's up guys? Dr. Jim coming at you from Rubber City Chiropractic in beautiful Akron, Ohio. And I got a good one for you today for the shoulder. So, been seeing a lot of folks coming in with overuse injuries of the rotator cuff and even the bicep tendon. So a lot of times what we see is this archetype of a forward posture pulling everything into this downward position, which allows just too many things to happen at the anterior shoulder girdle that can cause pinching, irritation, and impingement. When the shoulder's in that position, it now makes everything vulnerable on the backside for the rotator cuffs. So if we take a look at the shoulder for a second here, it is a ball and socket joint, but it's not as stable as the hip joint. So what we got here is more of a golf ball sitting on a golf tee held there by rubber bands, which would be your rotator cuff muscles. If you can kind of see here on the little orange band, there's a couple different spots that this rotator cuff begins on the shoulder blade itself. And then these rotator cuff tendons rock through some of these grooves and attach alongside the front of the humerus. If we don't properly get movement through the shoulder throughout the day, and I'm trying to give you, on the regular, movement snacks that you guys can snack on throughout the day, there's just certain joints that are going to get restricted. In a normal shoulder, we might see perfect flexion on one side, but on the other side, it might run into a wall where that's all we got. Well, if this is my good shoulder and this is my bad shoulder, how am I going to do overhead pressing with the barbell? It's not going to be as even as one side as the other. It's not going to be as safe or as optimal movement-wise for that one joint as it is for the other. So there's certain things I can give you on the regular that we can use as movement snacks to kind of help wake up or let the mind talk to that joint on the daily to create a better moving joint. So putting this all together, I have very easy things that I want to show you today for this shoulder joint that I feel it could help you from now to your 99. Follow along. So what I want to introduce you guys to is what's called shoulder CARS, C-A-R-S, controlled articular rotations. They are focused movement for a certain joint that can be prescribed on the daily that are safe, never overloaded to the point where you can't do them again tomorrow. You're never going to burn out on them. But it's actual good movement for the cellular level of the joint capsule. So we can do these for the wrists, the elbows, the entire spine, the hips, the knees, the ankles, so on and so forth. There is certain movements that certain joints should have as a prerequisite to allow safe movement under load. So I want to show you the most basic movement that you can do for the shoulder every morning upon waking that will take a little bit of getting used to. And at some point here, if you guys have any questions, send me a message. I'm happy to answer them. But these are something that's fallen under the FRC, Functional Range Conditioning category. Dr. Andrew Ospina is somebody you guys can follow. He is the head master of all this. And I'm going to just try to do it due diligence and explaining what I do every morning for my shoulder. So the shoulder does awesome things, but to break it down real simply, we have flexion, which is in the plane here. And there's certain prerequisites that we should have that if we don't have, a lot of times the body might dump itself into another joint to get the job done. So if we were snatching or if we were clean and jerking or if we were overhead pressing, if we don't have the proper motion in the shoulder, our body will find a way by cheating to get us into an overhead position so that we can finish the lift or the task at hand. This could be simple as us trying to put a light bulb back in its socket, okay? So what I want to show you guys is I have a really good shoulder that minimal injuries to, and then I have a shoulder who's had lots of injuries and lots of wear and tear every day when I'm working on patients. So I want to show you the difference, okay? This is normal flexion for me without cheating the lower back on my good shoulder. Probably some work to be done there, but it's pretty darn good. On my other side, this is about as far as I can go without me having to tilt back to get vertical. I hope you guys can see that there. Probably a lot of you at home too, if you sat there and you were doing sitting, dumbbell pressing or barbell pressing, you might find that one shoulder feels real good and crisp, but the other side just doesn't quite feel the same. So for me, I have to do these a couple times a day. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, 3 reps, that's all it takes. I'll show you, follow along. So what we wanna do first is try to put something in the hand of the shoulder that we're gonna be working on. This allows for irradiation, and then what we want to try to do is create that irradiation to the entire part of the body so that what we're doing is flexing isometrically pretty much every muscle in our body and then causing movement to the joint that we want to clean up, okay? So what I'll do is just adding something like a tactile ball. I think it feels great because you can get different feels with the fingers and the palms. So what I'll do is hold on to something. Typically I'll show this with a patient, holding against the wall. I can also teach this in quadruped. There's a lot of different ways we can go and graduate from here, but just simply shown. I'll hold on to something. I'm pushing down here. I'm gonna take a breath into my diaphragm. And then what we're gonna do is take the arm through the first part of flexion here, as far as it can go before we have pain. Right there is pretty good for me. I'm starting to get a lot of tension at the front of the shoulder. Now we want to rotate through the armpit. So I'm going to rotate outward here, keeping the spine neutral, no cheating. And I'm reaching as far back as I can here, sending the arm into extension, pause, and then finish it by my side. I am completely internally rotated the best I can at this point, okay? We're going to reverse this. New breath into the diaphragm. Reach back as far as you can. If you wanted to put your hand on the wall, that's fine. Now that's as far as I can go in extension. I'm gonna rotate the arm. So now we're externally rotated. Now we climb. No cheating, don't let any of the energy leak any other part of the body. All the way back to the starting position. And then now we can go back to where I'd say eye level would be appropriate. Then we would go into rep number 2. Remember, we're doing 3 here. This should be a better rep. It does feel like I got a little further. Now I'm going to rotate through the armpit, sending the shoulder into internal rotation, finishing it by my side. Restart, new breath. Reach far back as I can go, rotate out through the armpit, climb, 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 all the way back up to the starting position, pause, finish at eye level. Rep number 3, make it your best, pause at the top, rotate through the armpit, finish behind you, set it by your side, last time through, make it your best, externally rotate and climb. Don't speed through any spots here. If you feel like you're speeding, slow it right back down, and then now we can finish this all the way down by our side. Now, you guys get the idea. It takes a while, sometimes 20 to 30 seconds for one full resolution. And what I want to do is show you guys the before and after for me just doing 1 round of 3 reps. Pretty powerful. I didn't do anything to this side, so it should still be pretty good, but I just want to show you this is at least what I would consider my better of the 2 shoulders. If I go all the way up through flexion, still looking good, hopefully. I'll have to check the video for this afterwards. And then from the side, let's see if this one got any better. And try to be true to yourself, okay? No cheating here. Hopefully that's a little better when I go back and look at the video. It felt better, and as I do this throughout the day when I'm working on patients, it does make my shoulder feel like I can do much more when I'm working on you guys. And it almost feels like the joint gets like a press reset done to it, and it does feel a whole lot better. Now, what I notice is each morning when I wake up, when I am doing these on the regular, I'll get a few little movements in the shower, when I'm kind of moving around and showering, the shoulder almost feels like it settles into a better position with ease. I hope that makes sense, because some people in the morning, they'll tell me, man, I go to wash my hair and it just feels like I can't get my arm above my head. It's all tight. Maybe it's because they were sleeping on it funny, or maybe, at work, they're just overusing that side. I've been there. I live it every day, guys. So there's just certain things that my job isn't going to stop tomorrow, and I'm sure yours isn't either. But if we can implement these little movement snacks throughout the day, that's my goal for you guys. Easy stuff you can do now so you're 99. So this is the shoulder cars. It's for the ball and socket of the shoulder. It's very easy to do. Typically, I'll do 1 round of 3 purposeful reps for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, or morning, midday, and then before bed. They're easy. It might take, what did that take? 2, 3, 4 minutes, something like that. But if you want a better working shoulder, do it. It's easy. And as always, if you guys have any questions, send them my way. I'm always happy to answer them. And I appreciate you guys following along. Other than that, hope you guys have a great day. Dr. Jim signing off. See you guys.